everyone's favorite Bird Box Barcelona. How many people here watch this? Did everyone watch this?
What a fun time.
Okay. Going down the line here. Joey, did you like the first Bird Box? And what did you like about this?
The first one was great. I got to tell you, let me tell you, folks,
please
did not
tell
enjoy. Did not enjoy. Its only redeeming factor is that it adds like a little bit of lore from the previous Bird Box on where the creatures might come from. There's absolutely no character development because they either die too quickly or they don't change at all. And it's just absolute terrible writing on how the survivors would actually act if they were trying to survive. It's just the whole fucking thing is foolish, and I'm upset. I'm upset right now.
By the way, you said it hints where they came from. I must have zoned out when they were explaining that. Adam, how did you feel about the Bird Box? And what was your takeaway from Bird Box Barcelona?
Thank you for asking, Tony. The first Bird Box, I guess I was a little nicer on because that was early Netflix kind of trying to pretend to wear big boy pants and put out real movies. Sandra Bullock's in there, of course, America's Sweetheart. I thought it was fine. It did kind of have shades of The Happening for me. And there's a couple other movies that reminded me of Quiet Place, kind of had shades of that as well. But this one's terrible. It takes place with another set of protagonists. The lead hero, I guess, is absolutely unlikable from beginning to end. The production value took a huge nosedive. It looks like it was shot in front of a green screen most of the time or a very small soundstage of one environment. I don't have anything good to say. I should also say it isn't subtitles. Now, some people will go, whoa, Adam, why do you hate reading? And that's not at all. I'm just telling you that it's a foreign film, so there is reading involved, or you can use the dub, which I found the dub to be terrible. I put out a short on this film. It was 45 seconds long where I was just telling people what to expect, and a lot of comments were, believe it or not, pretty negative towards my comment that you have subtitles.
You got negative comments? That's a shock, Adam.
I know. It's wild.
Yeah, I do want to say, for some reason, Netflix just auto-played the dub for me. It didn't even give me the option, so
they auto-played the dub for me too. But after a couple minutes, I'm like, something's wrong with their mouths, and then I realized what was happening. Weird. I was like, I don't like what they're doing here.
Yeah, so Bird Box 1 was so big, and the fact that they did like this foreign language sequel to it just seems bizarre. But Crystal, what are your thoughts on the first one and this one?
I really liked the first one. I thought it was good. It was very interesting. It was very similar. I think that Bird Box came out before Quiet Place. Is that right?
I feel like they were around the same time.
You're trying to throw me under the bus, Crystal? Is that what you're doing?
Well, I mean,
if I'm not mistaken, Adam's a fucking liar. And kind of
I didn't want to say it right out like that, but
it's good to meet you for the first time, Crystal. Thanks.
I know, best friends. Anyway, I did like it a lot. The first one, it was interesting. It was something different. This one, I wished that I knew that there was a subtitle version. I just got the dubbed, and it was horrible. I think it sucked. I think it was actually very forgettable as well, because I'm like trying to go through. I just saw it yesterday. I watched both of them yesterday, and I can't remember what happened in the movie besides the guy not remembering if he was religious or not. Like, he couldn't.
What was your takeaway for Bird Box Barcelona?
Like, it was just bad.
Yeah.
Like, everything about it. Bad acting, or at least in the dubbed, I know. The storyline was very bland. I couldn't remember who was who. There were so many characters coming in and out and dying, and then by the end, I don't even get the freaking ending. Yeah, I get it. The German girl got back to her mom, but
I want to do a bitch about the ending soon. But Gil, how about you? Bird Box 1 and Bird Box 2. How do you feel on them?
The first one I thought was not a great story, but somewhat elevated by Sandra Bullock and why do I keep forgetting his name? Malkovich, and some of the other actors, and just so I thought it ended up being kind of decent and like okay. This one, it had kind of an interesting twist, I'll say, toward the start of the movie that kind of got me on board, but then they sort of just twisted it back into place, and then it wasn't very interesting after that. Nothing surprising happening. All the criticisms that everybody else mentioned. There were things in it that I thought could have been interesting, like the religion angle could have been interesting, but when you have a villain that looks like whatever the characters fear most, or could look like anything, if they hint at all at what they're seeing, you know it doesn't really amount to anything. And there's a decent part of the movie where you're somewhat seeing what the protagonist is seeing. But again, if we kind of know going in that it's just a hallucination or it looks different to everyone, you kind of know where it's going. So I thought it had a chance. There were some interesting things at the start, but just didn't really amount to anything.
Yeah. Mint. Please don't go on a rant about like birds. What did you think about the first film and this one?
Okay, so I watched both of these last night, and I personally thought that they both sucked. I don't get the appeal for the first Bird Box at all. I strongly dislike the going back and forth between 40 hours on a river and the stuff that happened before going on the river. And I didn't like that at all. I feel the monsters are more believable than the characters taking 40 hours on the river with no food or water, no sleep.
You're still hung up on the river thing. Okay.
Yeah. And like, I just found I hate the mother character. She's like the worst character ever. She literally names the children boy and girl. And then, like, the ending of the movie, I'm like, oh, they're walking in a forest now. Okay, I'm just, like, yelling at this movie because they're making the dumbest decisions, and then everyone is, like, dying. And I'm like, okay, this movie sucked, okay? How bad could the second movie be? Maybe there's some redeeming qualities. No, okay? The movie follows Sebastian. So in the last movie, they did mention that there's some people who, whenever they see the monster, they either like kill themselves or they try to convert other people to get like open their eyes. We're following Sebastian, who is that guy. So he's going around like looking for like a bunch of recruiters trying to recruit people. Like, hey, I'm just going to infiltrate. Hey, I'm going to be very nice. Oh, and then they take me to the bases, and then I take down the light, take down all the stuff that makes it so you can't see the guy, take all the paper and the windows down, and then I'm going to force your eyes open and then see this delusion of all their souls going to heaven afterward. And then, like, towards the end, he fights that, so it's like, is he the only person who's able to fight this need to show everybody? Like,
this one brings up a lot of questions. I think I agree. I think Gil said it. Like, the beginning was interesting, where it's like, oh, this is from the point of view of one of the crazy guys, and I actually liked that reveal because they like really worked up to it. But then after that, a lot of this movie just feels like a remake of Bird Box 1. And
you know what's interesting about the last movie? Birds.
Okay.
They used birds. This movie, they got rid of the birds and they used dogs.
Okay, yeah, wait. I have a question. Since you guys watched the first one, how affected were the animals in the first one? Because I thought they could like sense the thing, but they weren't really affected by it. But in this one, they have to like blindfold their dogs so they don't go crazy. Like, wouldn't there just be no animals left in the world? Wouldn't this
and
thing
they can imitate animal noises as well? When did that start happening?
I kind of like that. I don't remember them showing the hallucinations in the first one, which I thought was like a unique thing. And this one, they're showing like everything.
Yeah.
Which I was.
You know what's interesting?
Yes,
they use wind in the last movie to show the monster. In this one, they use like levitation, and then they sometimes use wind and not levitation. And then there's voices, and it's like the voices thing starts happening 20 minutes at the end of the movie, 20 minutes from the end of the movie, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Speaking of the wind and stuff, Adam, I think you called it. The effects were terrible.
Yeah, a lot of CG leaves going.
Dude, look, it's 2023. I feel like a CGI floating coffee cup should look a little better than that on the world's biggest streaming platform. Like some of the CGI, like floating stuff, I'm like, these look really bad.
Yeah.
Like embarrassingly, like this should not look. It doesn't have to look great. I get it's a direct to streaming movie, but that was taking me out of it. And like, was this filmed like during COVID or like after? Because I'm really excited to get out of the COVID era films and have people in real locations again. Because
and seamlessly transition into the writer's strike, actor's strike.
Yeah, I'm really excited
Era
for
of
that.
films. Yeah,
I'm excited for everything on camera to look good, and then everything else to be AI
it's
generated.
gonna be all AI.
I was gonna say, are you
We
like
need to
everything's
go over there.
yeah?
But no, like they're showing Barcelona, and I'm like, that building couldn't look more fake.
It looks really
Everything
bad, yeah.
behind them looks so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only actor that stuck out was Georgina Campbell because she was in Barbarian, I think, right?
Yep.
Gross. That movie
And,
sucks
like,
so hard.
What was that?
That movie sucks so hard.
I agree
Agree.
so
Yes,
much on
hate
that.
So bad.
Barbarian.
Same.
I
Same.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.
But no, I did not like this. I didn't know why he really went crazy because I thought the first one again were like, oh, these are like Looney Tunes nut jobs. I'm like, but he didn't seem like that. Why did he get so affected by these things? And like him struggling to overcome it. I mean, there was some
I hated
interesting
Gabriel. Look at it. Just that photo you have there is triggering the shit out of me. Look at his stupid goggles that he's wearing. I hate that.
Yeah, I didn't really care for him or his journey. I didn't really care about all of them. However, at the very, very end, because it ends kind of like the first one, they make it to a safe place. They introduced this concept that they could possibly use like blood and stuff to build up a resistance to the creatures. And also they captured one and they're doing experiments. And then the movie ends right there. I'm like, that was so the first Bird Box, by the way, I thought it was like okay. I watched it like a few weeks late, so I missed all the hype. I did do a Bird Box challenge, which with an actual bird. that was before I saw the movie. I had a parrot at the time, and I thought the monster was called Bird Box. So the whole time I'm like, oh no, is Bird Box around? When I watched the movie, I realized like, oh, that's kind of stupid. The monster is not Bird Box. Yeah, so the movie has a few interesting concepts, and the one at the end was the most interesting, and then it just ends. But I'm like, I really don't care to see where the story goes.
I checked out before it was over. I shut it off.
Yeah, it was hard to keep my attention. I had to
shut it off when Gabriel fought whoever he was fighting, and he was like on fire or something.
Oh,
everything was just a blur. I shut it off. I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. So I think we all unanimously think this sucked, right?
Yeah. You know what was good though about this
What's
movie?
that, mint salad?
So I watched both the English dub and English sub, whatever it's audio, the English audio and the Spanish audio, and with like subtitles. And the Spanish performance is so much better in the voice acting, and like it matches the lips. Versus the English overdub is so bad. It is so bad. Tony, it is so bad that you and I are beefing again because you made me watch this movie.
Oh no! Oh no!
And there you have it, folks.
I'm so
Wait,
sorry.
we get to fight Tony when he makes us watch bad movies?
No, disregard mint salad. Then.
No, I'm totally beefing with you, Tony. Tony's just going to be sequels. The end was a sequel setup. It just makes me angry.
I don't know a single person talking about this movie other than us, so I don't know if it's getting a sequel. I didn't even know why they made this. People kind of Bird Box was like a month thing and it just disappeared.
This is like making another shitty Cloverfield Paradox movie, which was also a Netflix exclusive. I can't wait for they should do a Bird Box Cloverfield combo of the crappy Netflix versions and just be done with both of them.
Part of me feels like I feel like, was this supposed to be a Spanish language remake of Bird Box?
That's the feeling I had.
And they're like, if we just twist a few things, we can make it a spin-off instead. I'm like, okay.
You know, I think my theory on why they have so many different language tracks, like on Netflix, there's like a ton of different languages. I think it's because of how successful Squid Game is that they're trying to like do another, like make this a franchise.
I've yet to watch a single episode of Squid Game.
Squid Game is very good. Not like this.
Yeah, Squid Game's fun.
Yeah.